Greetings, my fellow philosophical thinkers. LTU's News Podcast. My name is Craig, transmitting from the beautiful Swampy Mango, South Florida, and today's date is Friday, September 13, 2018. Yes, I decided to do another show this afternoon in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. I'm at Stash, located at 109 Southwest 2nd Avenue in the heart of Fort Lauderdale, Florida, adjacent with Revolution Live and America's Backyard. Yeah, so it's pretty mellow over here today. There's been a nice little show happening next door. Stash with a rock band from Atlanta. I'm just wondering if they're fans of Mother's Finest. If not, they shouldn't be in a band if they're from Atlanta. But it's all well and good, and I'm just doing my thing. And just kicking back a little bit, just doing my thing. A little warm as usual down here. It's summertime, but not too bluesy. Love to get that breeze. That's pretty good. So I know I've been reading some of the stuff, some of the articles, and it sounds like some federal court judge for Court of Appeals said that groping is legit for the TSA. I'm just wondering how far he bent over to get that job, right? I'm bent over Bob to stick with my black robe. Just give it to me, baby. Well, I recommend to everyone out there two things: don't fly or get heavily potent, get real smelly so bad they get sick and they'll leave. Get the demand going for deplorable hygiene. We're going to do throw everyone in jail, lock the whole damn airport down for not taking a shower. It'll hurt the business, of course. It's going to hurt the airline industry. When the government try to run things and how to do your job, it turns into manure. So, yes, and of course, everyone's still going up in arms on the whole Carnival thing. Oh, he's a harsh conservative. But if you read some of the articles I've addressed, and many others as well, the like-minded ones, he's more of a moderator, a compromiser, and can be bought and paid for based on that. So, don't listen to the Dinkleberries on TV from CNN, all these other crappy drama queen news. So they're going to get you wound up, get you angry and all that. I had one gentleman I was chatting with today at the Cortina Inn, and he told me about politics and people watching to get wound up. I said, well, I told him to start doing your homework. And 60-year-old man from the Marines, he told me he just went to the third grade, he had a business in concrete, was very successful, and I told him never too old to learn that he wants to run for Congress. I recommend him some information to look at, and he thanked me. So remember, technology is good. Don't be enslaved. Enhance, utilize, even operate the enemy's tools, if you know what I'm saying. That is for sure. So, of course, bad luck day, right? Always have a good day on Friday 13th, and I'm not suspicious in those areas. I do believe in great outer forces, part of the unknown, God, whatever you want to call it. And I'm not anti-Christian or Bible hater myself. I just defy jack-lanterns, wolves in sheep's clothing, and of course the corrupt, the statists. Those are people I condemn with a passion. And so just one of those areas, like to get my chest out. And hopefully everyone out there heard my last show a couple shows ago about H.R. 5404, which Congressman Mooney from West Virginia wants to have our dollar back in the gold standard, and no one has co-sponsors. So I did petition a letter to Congressman Ted Deutsch on that, and let's see what kind of response I get. If he's against it, doesn't want to sign it, then he proved one thing: he's just another shoe shine boy to the banksters. So, Congressman Deutsch, don't disappoint me. I will call you out, especially in the campaigns. Have you shining shoes to the Rothschilds, or polishing apples, or bending over? One of those three. And don't worry, it's not a personal vindication, but just to prove that your principles are deplorable. If you say no to this, I got tired of your defense mechanized rhetoric anyway in my other areas. So it proves one thing: if you don't support this, you breach your oath to protect and defend the U.S. Constitution again. And to other folks in Congress as well, regardless of the partisanship, call them all out. Don't be shy. Don't be afraid of these fools. Say, oh, well, I'm a Trump supporter, and they don't support this. Just laugh at them anyway. So don't use him as your defense, because it's null and void.
That's crazy.
So that's how you got to look at it. So one of those areas, my friends, be vigilant. I know people there. I do condone President Trump for signing a pardon for the Hammonds. Okay, and that's great. But it doesn't mean I'm going to be his lovey-dovey Lord, be his buddy. Be vigilant. Keep him on his toes. That's how you do it. Remember, the government, you never trust them. I know I repeat this so many times. However, many of you out there understand, but for the new listeners, it's have them be informed, enlighten themselves, wake up in the spiritual matter. All right, enough of my digressing here. Let's just check this out. Ooh, I just got this on naturalblaze.com. I just kick a couple articles from them, but this one here is about the secret documents expose Monsanto's war on cancer scientists. Very interesting indeed, and it came by Stacy Malkin. And it says here, Dwayne Johnson, his 46-year-old father, died of non-Hodgkin lymphoma. Became the first person to face Monsanto in trial this week over allegations the company hid evidence about the cancer-causing dangers of its Roundup weed killer. Johnson is the first of some 4,000 people in Monsanto and state and federal courts claimed their cancer will cause glyphosate-based Roundup. Litigation documents coming to light because of it are shining light on the heavy-handed tactics Monsanto, now subsidiary of Bayer, has used to deny cancer risk and protect the chemical that is the linchpin of profits. So I know I was talking about a few days ago, but I think it's time to see what else is new on this. Monsanto was its own ghostwriter for safety reviews. Bloomberg reported an EPA official reportedly helped Monsanto kill another agency's cancer study. An investigation in Le Monde details Monsanto's efforts to destroy the United Nations Cancer Agency by any means possible to save glyphosate. You know, it's fun. I'm not a big fan of the United Nations anyway, so just to let you folks know. However, I'm not saying everyone within the institution is bad. You got some folks that have some good principles. So I'll be sincere. 2 recent journal articles based on reviews of the Roundup trial discovery report corporate interference in the scientific publication, the federal regulatory agency, and other examples of the poisoning the scientific well. Monsanto's ghostwriting and strong-arming threat in sound science and society, wrote Tufts University professor Sheldon Krimsky in a June essay. Discovery documents, he said, uncovered the corporate capture of science, which puts public health in the very foundation of democracy at risk. This corporate war on science has major implications for all of us, considering that half of all the men in the U.S. and third of the women will be diagnosed with cancer at some point in our lifetimes, according to the National Cancer Institute. Documents found the industry doesn't want you to see. For years, the world and the chemical industries have set their sights on one particular target in the science world, the International Agency for Research on Cancer, or Symposium, or ANCRIM, IARC. The independent research for that 50 years has worked to identify cancer hazards to inform policies that can prevent cancer. I've been fighting IARC forever. One former Kraft food scientist wrote a former Cygenetics scientist an email obtained through a state open records request. Just to let you folks know, Kraft Foods is part of Philip Morris, with their Philip Morris tobacco, based out of Richmond, Virginia, right off I-95 to be exact. Foods and AG are under siege since glyphosate in March 2015. We all need to gather somehow and expose IARC, as you guys did in the paper. Next priorities are all food ingredients: aspartame, sucralose, dietary iron, carotene, BPA, etc. IARC is killing us. The IARC expert panel decision to classify glyphosate as probably carcinogenic to humans, creating a rally point for the panel's foes to gather forces. A key Monsanto document released via litigation reveals the plan of attack. Discredits career scientists with the help of allies across the food industry. Monsanto's public relations plan assigned 20 corporate staffers to prepare for the IARC Congeniality report on glyphosate, with objectives including neutralize impact, establish public perspective on IARC, regular outreach, ensure MONPOV, or MONPOV, and engage industry association in outrage. This document identifies 4 tiers of the industry partners to help advance 3 objectives named in the PR plan: protect the reputation of Roundup, prevent unfounded cancer claims from becoming popular opinion, and provide cover for regulatory agencies to keep allowing the use of glyphosate. Uncovering Monsanto's network of industry partners and industry partner groups, Monsanto tapped to discredit the IARC scientists include the largest pesticide and food industry lobby organizations, CropLife International, Bio, and the Grocery Manufacturers Association. Industry-funded spin such groups as GMO Answers and the International Food Information Council and Science Y sounding front group like Sense About Science, the Genetic Literacy Project, and Academics Review, all using similar messaging and often referring back to each other as sources. Documents obtained by the U.S. Right to Know investigation illuminate on how these partner groups were together to promote the MONPOV about the safety and necessity of pesticides and GMOs. On one set of documents revealed how Monsanto's PR operatives organized academic reviews as a neutral-sounding platform from which they could launch attacks against a target list of foes, including Sierra Club, author Michael Pollan, the movie Food Inc., and the organic industries. It looks like they're getting looks like these institutions and folks have struck a nerve. The architects of Academic Review, co-founder Bruce Chassey and David Tribe, Monsanto executive Eric Sachs, former Monsanto Communications Director Jay Byrne, and former VP of the Biotech Industry Trade Group Val Giddings talked openly in the emails about setting up academic reviews as a front group to promote industry interests and attract industry cash while keeping corporate fingerprints hidden. And this is what the email has to say from John Byrne to Bruce Chassey. All right, I proposed to Val that he and I meet while I'm in the DC next week, so we can non-email get a clear picture of options for taking the academic review project and other opportunities forward. The Center for Consumer Freedoms, or activistcash.com, has cashed in on this to the extreme, and I think we have a much better concept. In complying an opportunity list with targets, which includes the likes of Vandana Shiva, Andrew Kimbrough, and Ronnie Cummings, organizations which include the Sierra Club, Greenpeace, and IATP, which includes Food Inc., the World According to Monsanto, and in Defense of Food by Pollan. All of these also have topics crossovers on all the risk areas of ag biotech: outcrossing, contamination, bees, butterflies, human safety, etc. I have a document we developed for Monsanto, needs to be updated, of course, which lists all the various areas of attack areas on ag biotech and sources of those attacks and the response data available at the time. All these individuals, organizations, content items, and topic areas mean money for a range of well-heeled corporations. I believe Val and I can identify and serve as the appropriate non-academic vehicle commercials by. That was an email again from Jay Byrne, former director of corporate communications at Monsanto, to Bruce Chassey, and it says here, there's a response. And his reply was from Eric to Bruce. Okay, you and I need to talk more about the academic review site and concept. I believe that there is a path to process that would better respond to scientific concerns and allegations I shared with Val yesterday. From my perspective, the problem is one, expert engagement, and that could be solved by paying experts to provide responses. You and I have discussed this in the past. Val explained that step one is establish 501c3 not-for-profit status to facilitate fundraising. That makes sense, but there is more. I discussed with Jerry Steiner today, Monsanto executive team, and can help motivate CLI, BOI, CBI, and other organizations to support. Interesting. Is that the Chesney Brothers Inc.? Yeah, CBI. Though the key will be keeping Monsanto in the background, so as not to harm the credibility of the information. All my best, Eric. Even now, with their playbook exposed and their primary funding identified as coming from a trade group funded by Monsanto, Bayer, BASF, which is videos, by the way, saying Janetta and Dow DuPont. Remember, Dow DuPont was one of the petrochemical companies that lobbied for criminalizing marijuana in the 1930s. Academic reviews still claim on its website to accept donations only from non-corporate sources. Academic reviews also claim that the IARC glyphosate cancer reviews fails on multiple fronts. In posts sourced by the industry-founded PR website, GMO Answers, the industry-funded front group, American Council on Science and Health, and the Forbes article by Henry Miller that was ghostwritten by Monsanto. Miller and the academic review organizers Chassie, Tribe, Burns, Sachs, and Giddings are all also members of Ag Bio Chatter, a private list server that appeared in Monsanto's PR plan as a Tier 2 industry partner. Emails from the Ag Bio Chatter list suggest that it was used as a form to coordinate industry allies on messaging and lobbying activities to promote GMOs and pesticides. Members included senior agrochemical industrial staff, PR consultant, and post-industry academics, many of whom write for industry media platforms such as GMO Answers and Genetic Literacy Project, or play leadership roles in other Monsanto partner groups. Genetic Literacy Project, led by longtime chemical industry PR operative John Entine, also partnered with Academics Review to run a series of conferences funded by the agrochemical industry to train journalists and scientists how to better promote GMOs and pesticides and argue for their deregulation. The organizers were again dishonest about the sources of their funding. These groups cast themselves as honest arbiters of science, even as they spread false information and level near hysterical attacks against scientists who raise concern about the cancer risk of glyphosate. The IARC on the Genetic Literacy Project website brings up more than 220 articles with industry messaging maligning the cancer scientists as anti-chemical enviros who lied and conspired to represent the risk of glyphosate, and arguing that the Global Cancer Agency should be defunded and abolished. Many of the anti-IARC articles posted on that site or pushed by other industry surrogates ignore that many news reports based on Monsanto papers documenting corporate interference in the scientific research and focus instead of the misleading reporting of Kate Calland, a Reuters reporter who has close ties to the Scientific Media Center, the sister organization of Sense About Science, a group Monsanto suggested in its PR plan to lead industry response in the media. The battle against IARC based on these attacks has now reached Capitol Hill, with congressional Republicans led by Lamar Smith investigating and trying to withhold U.S. funding from the world's leading cancer research agency. Gotta give them credit for that. Who's on the side of science? Monsanto's lobbying and messaging to discredit the IARC Council panel is based on the argument and the other agencies use risk-based assessments have exonerated glyphosate of cancer risk, as many news outlets have reported, along with two recent journal articles based on the Monsanto papers. Evidence is piling up that the regulatory risk assessments on glyphosate, which rely heavily on industry-provided research, has been compromised by undisclosed conflicts of interest, reliance on dubious science, ghostwritten materials, as other methods of corporate strong-arming that puts public health at risk, as the Tufts professor Sheldon Krimsky wrote. And writes here, to protect the scientific enterprise, one of the core pillars of a modern democratic society, against the forces that would turn it into a handy made of industry or politics. Our science society must support firewalls between academic science and the corporate sectors and educate young scientists and journal editors on the moral principles behind their respective professional roles, Krimsky wrote. Policymakers must allow corporate-spun science to guide decisions about cancer prevention. Media must do a better job reporting and probing into conflicts of interest behind the corporate science spin. It is time to end the corporate war on cancer science, and I have to agree with Ms. Malkin on this completely. Put out the truth. Have the journalist has to be watchdogs of tyranny, not being bought, sold, or shoeshine, apple polishing, bending over for these corrupt entities. Rather, it's political corporations and all that. It doesn't really matter. That's what the whole thing's happening. That's why the alternative media we are creating a lot of dents in the information war. I can say winning, yeah, we can say we are. It is enduring. So we're gonna have these battles, but the truth of the matter is, my friends, you gotta don't fall for the mind control hype. There's gonna be one interesting case that could make a break. But I'll tell you one thing: it's a great start. If this case doesn't go through for the plaintiff, you gotta keep that movement going. Pursue it. Don't be intimidated by these individuals. They want to put threats and slander. Have people say they're being slanderous. One thing for sure. It's like when it comes to the information war and the order and fighting tyranny, gotta be a cockroach that can't kill us all one way or the other. So we're gonna keep on pushing, put out the truth, lay down the facts. Because when it comes to common sense, when it comes to creating chemicals, synthetic chemicals, how is it healthy for the human body and the planet? That's one of the areas you have to really ask the main questions on there. So this is gonna be an exciting case. And hopefully I will keep you posted at the best of my ability. And we'll just take it from there. Alright, so the next one here. I got this actually from Blacklisted News. Good man Doug Owen, based out of Austin, Texas. He has his own website, and this actually came from Activist Post. It's entitled Facebook Purges Over 80 Accounts in a Sweeping Attack on the Alternative Media. And what it says right here is by Philip Schneider. Starting in June of 2018, Facebook began deleting pages with up to 40 million followers and unprecedented assault on independent media outlets using the platform. Jake Passy, founder of the popular Facebook page Collectively Conscious and the victim of the purge effort called Deleting Rampage and Crime Against Humanity. A website known as Swapit, which allows for buying and selling Facebook pages, issued a statement confirming that the pages were in fact being taken down by Facebook. After days of news reports coming in, and we're 100% sure Facebook is cleaning the house hard. They are taking no hostages and deleting millions of fans without hesitation. It doesn't matter if you have 50K or 40 mil. They are all at risk. This is my swapit.co. So, several commentators claim to have had their pages taken down as well, including one user who claimed to run 10 pages about dogs, machines, trucks, and farming. It is unclear why legitimate pages are being removed, but according to a message sent by Swapit from one of their clients, Facebook is targeting accounts partaken in manufacturer sharing behavior and any accounts linked to such behavior. They speculate that legitimate pages are being taken down as collateral damage. In a post on the alternative media site Minds.com, Jake listed almost 80 independent pages which were deleted by Facebook in June. And that's a good site, folks. You should go for that, Minds.com. And even the stuff I put out, there's a lot of good other alternative media out there. So I will continue on. Did you know that Facebook went on the alternative media page deleting Rampage last month? In June, they deleted or unpublished indefinitely 79 alternative media pages owned by friends in the alternative media community, 80 including my own, Collective Conscious. Here's a list of pages I know that have been deleted or unpublished indefinitely. There's a big list on here. All right, Jesse Ventura's page 242, and it's 80, man. So okay, I can start. I'll just put on. I won't give the dates out, so I'll just put down the. Just give you the names. collective conscience, natural cures, not medicine. I want to be 100% organic. Viral alternative news, organic health, natural cures for foods, heart-centered rebalancing, awareness act, conscious life news, wake the fuck up. Living traditionally, organic wellness, chocolate Socrates, Earth, we are one, mediation masters, people's awakening, Nikola Tesla, interesting stories, the warrior, natural health warriors, tech explorers, universe explorers, Area 51, gold meditation, meditation, videos explorers, spiritualer.com, flower of life, EWAO, global freedom movement, health and alternative medicine, pure nature, nature gallery, memorizing nature, nature's tusk, we really like animals, nature's majesty, nature magic, floral photo book, my own little world, brightness so, essence of spirit, Jesse Ventura fan page, exposing the truth, learn the truth, la truth, healthy life box, healthy food house, health awareness, health, life, and food, check these things, health care above all, health and healthy living, health and alternative medicine, healthy living motivation, alternative health in universe, natural medicine corner, organic health team, global health care, healthy alternative medicine, natural healthy team, organic food medicine, love, health, and happiness, healthy organic life, healthy lifestyle, guardian of health, daily health keeper, health and love page, diabetes health page, the beauty of power, nutritious facts and analysis, deeper perspectives, healthy living, organic planner, life, healthy lifestyle, just natural medicine, great remedies, nature is beautiful, amazing world, pure nature, photography world, world magazine, Nicholas Tesla fans, positive reminders, and sarcasm. Look at all those health and wellness pages. This is a crime against humanity as far as I'm concerned, Jake Passy said. Most of the pages affected by the purge appear to be natural health and conspiracy oriented. However, this isn't stopping alternative media as it's growing popularity, and alt tech sites like mine are opening doors to less censored distribution of news and commentary. And I agree completely. Facebook should be ashamed of themselves. They prove one thing: they are nothing more than a new world order entity. And Zuckerberg is on his hands and knees, shining shoes to the hidden hand. That's right. And I don't care if you tell him that or not. You can tell him Loki Luck III said so. One of these areas, my friend, is called the war on information. So they say they're going to play a little Orwellian game. It's going to burn them. Plain and simple. And that's why Minds.com is a great site. FreedomNetwork.com is a good site too. Small. I know they do need help, so definitely check them out. Buddylist.co. There's a whole bunch of them I'm going to talk about later. And actually, let me see. I may have it right here. And where is my notebook? Right. I'm going to grab my confounded notebook here. There's a bunch of these sites on here I always pay homage to. That's considered alternative and all that. And of course, you got oneway.com, which is more conservative, but they're very pro free speech. You got yours, which is pretty cool. They can do donations. Buddylist is very good. FutureNet.club is pretty cool as well. Just to give you a few of those. And decentralizing the social media is really picking up steam, and it's very good because that's one thing I tell folks. Remember, Facebook's a corporation, a private entity, so don't complain about free speech and all that. You have to, I'm not even surprised on what they're doing, okay? Friends of mine, we talked about this for a long time, and we prepared ourselves, and many others took action by creating their own social media site. And that's good. That's why I'm not worried. If I get censored, that's a badge of honor. But the truth of the matter is, don't leave all your social media eggs in one basket, okay? And that's why I tell folks, certain ones use the enemy's tools. Okay, so I'm going to be right back. I'm going to play you a little tune by a band called Cosmogyral, Honor of Death, and I'll be back, so stay tuned. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, it was an honor of death by Cosmo Gyro. Almost played it the second time there, just hit the wrong buttons. Hey, it's podcasting. Part of the human element, I would say, right? So, yeah, check them out. I will add it to my footnotes with their website, official Cosmogyral.com. And check them out. They're a good local band. They're not going on the get signed by Berkeley, but it's all independently run. And you could go to my euphonic parasology podcast. I did an interview with Sean Adams and Dee Mulligan, the two members of the band, and they explained everything on there. So I had a good time. I'm looking for more bands and performers to, do a shout out, do an interview with them, and share some music. Regardless of the genre, I like to see what their perspectives are and all that. So yeah, check it out. It was a lot of fun. All right, now we'll continue on here. This one here actually came from RT, Russia Today, even though it's State Foreign Agency site. However, they got some good stuff too, like everything else. Observe responsibly. And this actually came from Reuters originally, right? Is it originally from Reuters? No, this is what they had to say here on RT. Saudi king absolves troops of any future accountability for their conduct in Yemen war. Oh, so give them immunity, right? What do you have to say about this? A royal decree by Saudi King Salman has pre-exonerated all troops fighting in Yemen for any accountability issues they may face over their conduct in the war, where thousands of civilians have been killed and wounded. A statement announcing in the early pardon released by Saudi Arabia's state news agency SPA said the pardon extends to all military men across the armed forces taking part in Operation Restoring Hope, citing the official code name of the Radi-led invasion of Yemen. The royal decree was issued following reports submitted by Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, the kingdom's sitting defense minister. It exonerates troops involved in hostilities from their respective military and disciplinary penalties in regard of some rules and disciplines. The statement issued by the SPA wasn't specific as to any particular crimes, but said the move was vowed to show appreciation for the heroics and sacrifices of the soldiers. The coalition led by Saudi Arabia has been waging a military campaign against the Iran-backed Shiite Houthi rebels in Yemen since March 2015 in an attempt to put ousted Yemeni president back in power. Radi had formed an alliance of Arab states, and their offensive initially drove the Houthis out of swaths of land in the south, but then stalled. Houthis continues to hit the Arab troops, launching surprise attacks by employing guerrilla tactics. Since the start of the Saudi-led campaign, the coalition has been repeatedly accused of killing a dozen civilians in its airstrikes, but it rarely admits responsibility for such incidences. Saudi-led forces have been repeatedly targeting civilian objects, with the rights group saying the rules of engagement amount to war crimes. Last year, a Human Rights Watch official, Aman Benchemzi, told RT that 61 documented airstrikes, all conducted by the coalition, may amount indeed to war crimes that have killed nearly 900 civilians and have hit civilian areas including markets, schools, hospitals, and private homes. Later last year, a massive report presented to the UN Security Council concluded that 8 out of 10 increases to Saudi bombings. The panel found no evidence that the airstrikes had targeted legitimate military objectives. In all 10 investigations, the panel said it almost certain that the coalition did not meet international humanitarian law requirements of proportionality and precautions in attack. The persisting Yemen war, which entered its third year in 2018, has brought more than 8 million people in the region's poorest country to the brink of starvation. The worst humanitarian crisis in the world has seen almost two-thirds of the population struggle to provide food against the enmities to their families. The campaign and Saudi-imposed blockade of the impoverished nation have contributed to a humanitarian crisis in Yemen, including a major outbreak of cholera and continued malnutrition of the population. The human rights organizations say. Still, major Western powers, inducing the U.S. and U.K., have been contributing to the Saudi war effort by selling Radi weapons and providing the coalition air missions with refueling and targeting intelligence. This is pretty damn right disgusting, I would say. This is why when I hear about human rights issues from these other countries, but they don't do a double standard. It's all this political, corrupt status quo as usual. This is one of the areas I was very disturbed when the Congress and the Trump administration actually gave them supplies to pursue the war in Yemen with these weapons. Completely unacceptable. Yes, I can criticize my president on this. All right, and all you Trump worshippers out there better be starting to look at the bigger picture. That's because it's been going on for a very long time. I'm not going to argue about this. This has been going on when President Obama was president. I'm not going to argue about that at all, but there's no excuses of trying to keep the damn thing going. It's going to blow back in everyone's faces. I'll guarantee you that. All right, but it's say they can do it, but other countries can't, then you're a bunch of damn hypocrites. That's the name of the game. Tired of this little one-dimensional rhetoric. It's completely unacceptable. That's one of the areas you have to really look at. The whole thing is nothing more than a deception, a farce, and a monumental lie. So, cool. So we're gonna not cool, but like I said, I'm not gonna digress because I'll be here all day long. All right. So we're gonna be doing a little pre-production here. That's okay. And finally, we'll do one more. Came from Natural Blaze once again. Is by Johnson & Johnson. Forced to pay $4.7 billion as jury finds they knowingly gave women cancer with baby powder. Johnson & Johnson. It was funny about that because Johnson & Johnson, one of their shareholders was the Watchtower Tract Society, also known as Jehovah's Witnesses, according to the Henrietta T. Riley Trust, based out of Detroit, Michigan. Look it up. It's by Matt Agarist for Free Thought Project. It says here, for last several years, Johnson & Johnson have been battling multiple lawsuits, many of which they have lost due to thousands of claims of their baby powder product giving women cancer. On Thursday, a Missouri jury handed the largest verdict yet, ordering the pharma giant to pay $4.7 billion to victims. In this latest case, $22 million allege the company's talc-based products, including its baby powder, contain the known as carcinogen asbestos, which caused them to develop cancer, according to reports. What kind of building they're producing this stuff, right? Reports there are over 9,000 similar talc lawsuits against the company. Naturally, J&J denies that their product causes cancer and that contains asbestos. However, a government-funded study from the mid-1990s found that Johnson's baby powder caused cancer in rats, and other studies have found an increased risk of cancer in women who use a talc-based product. The potential risk has been known to the company for decades. What's more is the fact that talc in its natural form contain varying amounts of asbestos and other minerals. If it's not properly filtered, asbestos can be made through the consumer products. The International Agency for Research on Cancer, IARC again, which is part of the World Health Organization, and whose major goal is to identify causes of cancer, classifies talc as follows. IARC classifies talc that contains asbestos as carcinogen to humans based on a lack of data from human studies and on limited data in lab animal studies. IARC classifies inhaled talc not containing asbestos as not classifiable as to carcinogenicity in humans. Based on limited evidence from human studies, the link of ovarian cancer, IARC classifies the perineal or genital use of talc body powder as possibly carcinogenic to humans. Thursday, massive verdict award to the women handed down in the circuit court of the city of St. Louis was comprised of $550 million in compensatory damages and $4.14 billion in punitive damages, according to an online broadcast of the trial by Courtroom View Network. Following the reading of the verdict on the network, J&J shares fell just 1%, showing that the company's image will likely not be tarnished by such a massive blow. According to CSNBC, the women and their families said decade-long use of baby powder and other cosmetic talc powders caused their diseases. They allege the company knew its talc was contaminated with asbestos since at the least the 1970s, but failed to warn consumers about the risk. Mark Lehner, the lawyer for the women, released a statement following the verdict and urged J&J to pull its products from the shelf before causing further anguish, harm, and death from a terrible disease. If J&J insists on continuing to sell talc, they should mark it with a very serious warning, Lehner said. While the majority of the cases against J&J focus on ovarian cancer caused by talc itself, other focus on mesothelioma, a tissue cancer known to be caused by exposure to asbestos. This case was a mixture of both and is likely the reason for a large amount. Recently, in 2009 and 2010, the Food and Drug Administration claims to have tested multiple samples of J&J's baby powder and say they found no trace of asbestos. And as it says right here, according to Lehner, however, during the trial, he told jurors that the agency and other labs used by J&J implemented flawed methods did not allow for the proper detection of asbestos fibers, as the two materials are very closely related. Lehner explained how the two minerals can mix during the mining process and make it nearly impossible to separate the two. J&J denied his claim, but noted that they will be appealing the verdict. And Matt Agris, was editor at large for the Free Thought Project, which is originally on that particular page. So, hey, it's like this. It's a very intriguing case, and I know it's a big blow to Big Pharma, but people need to start paying attention to these big corporate products. It's been coming out little by little. That the Big Pharma and the big chemical industry are a little bit worried because it's just the ball's starting to roll. And more stuff's going to be coming out in the near future. So I recommend J&J and all these other big corporations to clean up their act. If not, it's going to get you where it hurts, because more people are to know about natural remedies. We don't need you. You need us more than we need you. Without you guys, you're nothing. Like I say about Johnson & Johnson and these other big pharma corporate companies, the big pharma cartel. And there's a train coming by, so hang tight. Of course. That's the flaw. Hey, that's how it goes. I can hop around a lot when I do my shows. So, it's good for the women. Hopefully, there's enough evidence stating that the appeal has no merit. They can pay it off, be justice for these folks and many others, because who else could be affected by it? We don't know for sure, including myself. I used it in the past. So get yourselves checked out, my friends. It's very essential. All right? For your health, do it for your loved ones and all that. And that is all. I thank everyone for listening, but feel free to download and share through social media networks. If you have any questions, comments, something that's interesting you might want to check out, whatever you do, please correspond. Please send your correspondence with decorum. All right? And I say decorum. And where are you? Oh my goodness. Yeah. You can hit me on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, Reacher, iHeartRadio, Tumblr, YouTube, Freedoms Network, Minds.com, FutureNet.club, Patreon.com/LuckyLuck3 with 3 eyes. If you want to be a patron, that would be awesome. I'm still working too. You can get me a Gab, yours.org, oneway.com, buddylist.co. In addition, you can email me at LuckyLuck3@gmail.com or to your encrypted one, mainly with the Proton Mail account. LuckyLuck numbers 03@protonmail.com. All right, my friends, that is all. Once again, thank you for your time. Plus, always remember that the demoniac resistance is healthy for the soul can liberate humanity. Until next time, take care of yourselves. Keep on spreading love, and may your guardian spirits be with you.